All right, boys. Big news. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. Coming here to Austin, Texas. Maybe the greatest thing I've ever said in my whole life. We're getting...
Oh, that's some big news.
A cool disc golf podcast for intermediate players. This is the Barely Stable Podcast.
Live from beautiful Austin, Texas, this is the Barely Stable Podcast. We're ready to BS. Here are your Barely Stable hosts, Daniel Freeberg and Nick Barr.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Barely Stable Podcast. It's been a little bit since we've been on.
We missed a week.
We did miss a week. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
We've been busy and sick.
Yeah, somebody got COVID.
Is that still a thing? I don't know if that's real. I think science is still out. I whether or not. I definitely took an old PCR test, and it gave the faintest line, and it made one person in the house like, I told you got COVID. It got me. I think it could have been the 45 minutes I spent sitting on a plane after it landed, just waiting for a place to stick its little nose and park when I was traveling.
Get out. Breathing in everybody's germs.
Yeah, I felt like I was just inhaling everyone else's farts for 45 minutes. And Lola's back. Also back with us, as always, Mr. Rigdon in the booth. How we doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great.
How you feeling?
Not sick.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yep.
Thing.
So we got a great show for today. Big news you might have seen in the thumbnail or the little intro. But something we want to talk about too quick is something that we've all been through. I feel like maybe you've talked about maybe feeling it a little bit right now. Like it's when you hit a slump.
Been in a slump. I wanted to talk about slump busters. Play some guitar music behind that.
I got you.
You got it?
Yep.
I've been in a little bit of
Better be guitar over this whole thing. All right, look at that nitty.
Yeah, man.
Just kidding.
Oh.
I gave him too much there. That was too much to play with.
It's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Then it's going to have some little kid.
Maybe like a fish or something in there. Yeah. So have you ever been on a slump? You feel like you're in a slump right now?
I had.
What constitutes a slump for you? Like, define slump. Why do you feel like you're in one right now?
Well, one big one. I had my worst rated round of the year at my home course.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was like
what's going on? Was it really windy?
No, I just sucked. It was just a bad day.
Oh.
And then I had like a new PR like 4 days before that.
Yeah, I feel like I just saw you do a PR at Northtown. Yeah.
I was all psyched. I was like, well, I can't not go to this tournament. It's free points.
Yeah.
It was free points for everyone besides me because I stunk it up.
So define, like, and I'm not trying to rub a wound here, but like your personal best was what?
It was -3. I had hit a -4.
So you're -4 a few days ago, and then what do you shoot at the sanction round?
+8. Yeah, 12-point swing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurt. And then our buddy, shout out, our good friend Chris was with Loop Eggs.
Yep.
He came out there and shot a -3 and MA1, just fucking crushed. The dude was throwing everywhere.
It's got to be the loot.
Yeah. He's testing a new product.
What's that?
He's got wristbands.
Ooh, nice.
And he had the wristband on.
Did you give it a try?
And no, he didn't have one for me.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say that it worked, but I am going to say that when they're available, I will be trying one because...
To stop the water flow from the shoulder down to the wrist?
Yeah. It was disgusting and gross and hot out there. And he did. He crushed. He came out there and he was like, yeah, I'm testing this out to see if it works. And to the tune of -3, it fucking worked.
That's shreddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even good. That's shreddy. -3 Northtown, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it's like 950 rated or something. It was great.
so that's one round, in which is, don't get me wrong, that's a catastrophically bad round at your local course. That I hate that feeling.
Home course.
But that's just a blip on the radar if it's just one round.
Well, I've had a little chaos and I've been up and down. And I know I talk about my rounds a lot, maybe too much on the cast, but...
Comment below if you think that.
It's one of those things where I had gotten used to kind of just getting better every month.
Yeah.
And then it stalled. And I had a couple of bad ones and I had like 1 or 2 like good rounds. But, it's ratings day and my rating did not move. And I felt like I worked really hard to make up for a very...
So just a neutral ratings?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have just having, a friend observed from afar, would have guessed you would have at least gone up a point or 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. So have you ever seen a growth chart, how it looks as you zoom out and you see the pattern of it? So it's like there's always potential growth, but then before like real growth, there's this period where you go down and then you actually start growing in. So it could just be that you've reached a point where you go, okay, I need to work on one or two things and just get laser focused on those one or two things. And that might actually make you play even just a little worse as you just focus on them. But then that'll catapult you into what they call the next level.
Fingers crossed. I've actually picked up a little distance. I feel like I'm throwing a little.
See, that could be. See, your distance, that could have just put you in the little. Now you're getting used to that power. You're getting used to that distance, and once you get used to it, ding, 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 ding.
And
see,
but I felt like my putts have gotten weaker. I don't know. It's I've for the first time in a year, I've decided to take multiple days in a row off. It's like I haven't. I mean, it's only Tuesday, but I haven't played since the tournament Saturday. I put the bag down, and.
Well, I think the first thing to getting over a problem is admitting that there is a problem.
But what do you guys do? Like, if you guys are having a slump or you're having like a string of bad rounds, even maybe not a full slump, how do you guys bounce out of it? Like, I
think it's one or two things with me. If it's a mental thing, I have a bunch of tools that I try to use to get my head just in the right space. Most of the time when I'm not performing well or I'm in quote unquote slump, it's really not anything more than I'm not concentrating. I'm not giving my attention and I'm not being present, if you will, in the moment on the course. And I would say 90% of my problem lies in there. When it's a mechanical thing, when there's like something off where like I feel fine, but like the disc is just sort of coming out early, I will take a camera, I will go to the side of my house, I'll clamp the camera to a little thing, and I will throw 10 times into the net, and I will just sort of see what I'm doing. And it's normally some tiny little thing that I've corrected long ago, but because of bad habit or just being lazy or thing was in my shoe or I didn't have the right shoes on, so I like whatever triggers you to kind of regress a little bit, I'll do that thing. It could be a thing with my grip. It could be a thing with my footwork. It could be a thing of like I'm rounding, or better, like I'm not putting like the disc on the right plane as it's coming back through. But it's all usually based on like just one bad habit or one or two bad habits that I can easily just recognize in the video. Because like when you're throwing, a lot of times, especially if you're in a tournament round, I mean, I don't know if you've been there, but you're like, where is the disc even coming out? Like, yeah, I am hoping it goes somewhere this way, but I have no idea why it's tending to go the other directions. And typically when that's happening, it's not like you just forgot to throw a disc. You just have like a little hitch in your giddy up, typically. And I find just watching a quick video of yourself is the easiest way to do it. It's most common on forehands. If all of a sudden my forehands are just like not coming out, like to me a forehand is really like three movements, and it's like all the timing of it, whether or not you're going to get a ton of snap on the end or not. And if you're not getting a ton of snap, you can just aim a different way, or you can just kind of like make sure that like you're getting the whole machine to work at the right time. And it feels like when you just correct the timing, all of us, I mean, do you all of a sudden become super accurate? No, but like at least you start throwing it, in the direction that you're trying to. Which I don't know. Sometimes feels like it's one of those holes you can't quite get the edge of. What about you, Rigdon? What do you do?
Yeah, what's your?
Oh man, I feel like I'm perpetually slumping. So I notice more when I'm playing well. It's like, oh hey, I'm playing good.
I'm on fire.
For me, I really don't think about it too much, but I find for myself, I think it's changing things up a little bit. Usually, it happens unexpectedly. So you guys know me, I don't throw with like a lot of discs. I use the same disc over and over again. So if I change up my driver and just the way that my throw is and everything, like that driver is just flying for me, that to me is like the thing that usually gets me out of my slump. It's like, okay, I changed up the driver. I'm actually throwing really well with this. It's going where I want it to go. I can control it. And that's usually a way for me to get like a period of time where I feel like I'm playing pretty good.
What I'm trying to do, and for me, I think it's a lot of mental game. It's a lot of, I've gotten better recently, and I know I can do better. And then if I make a mistake or if I do something stupid, or a lot of times, like I'll make a bad decision, like I'll throw the wrong disc or something, and that kind of has been getting in my head. It's like, well, I was on my way to -1, but now this is going to be a double bogey, and I think it's kind of taking a step back and realizing that it's not necessarily that I'm playing poorly, it's just that I'm not playing on the same level of better as what I want to.
Absolutely. You read a book that you like to quote a lot.
Yeah, the Golf is Not a Game of Perfect.
Yeah.
Wagner actually sent that to me for my birthday, an audiobook, and I listened to it. And a lot of that stuff sticks. One of the things that they say in that is you wouldn't hire a caddy that just talks shit to you all the time.
No. Yeah, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're playing disc golf or if you're just trying to get your kids out the door in the morning, but like your mental, like you talk to yourself more than you talk to anyone on the planet. You might as well be nice. Like that's the only time that you could really be nice.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty mean to myself, like in my head, but usually it's funny, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think sometimes you hide that in humor, and since it's funny and laughter, like I say we all make it like seem like it's okay, but I don't think our body sometimes knows the difference. I think it just still feels it as this like
and
shit talking.
The other thing that I'm really trying to focus on, and I thought it was and it wasn't even one of the things that the like guy in the book recommended. It was something that he interviewed did, but he's like when he gets out, and it's about ball golf. So when he gets out, he pulls out his iron or whatever, and he thinks about his best shot that he made with that.
Oh yeah, I think a quote from the book. As he's approaching a shot, he says, "I love to hit my sandwich."
Yeah.
And then he thinks about the greatest shot he's ever hit with the sandwich, and he focuses that energy to the sandwich. Like he's literally thinking about it like a beam of light going, that's cool.
I might be hungry. I heard him say sandwich.
A sandwich. We have some turkey and potato buns downstairs. Would you like a sandwich?
But yeah, so I've been doing that with the disc. Like I get out the disc and it's like, I remember when I had that throw-in with you. You don't have to do that, but you got to do something similar.
It's still funny, Freeberg, how you end up talking to your discs. You don't have to talk to, like, nowhere in that story do you actually have to have a conversation with your disc, but you still go back to, no, I'm going to talk to these things.
It's like the talking dog in Family Guy. Like, he's not needed in any episode, but he makes every episode better.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
We played this weekend, and one of the guys on our card, I had my putter, and I was like, I need you to get into the basket. He said, well, you got to throw me harder. If you put me in the basket, you don't throw hard enough, I'm going to get in the basket. The guy was like, was that the disc talking back to you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
I think we cross a line when you start playing both roles. Yeah. A putting, like let's say you were in a putting slump.
Mm-hmm.
How many clankers on a band would you consider a slump?
I mean,
how many?
I mean,
which 3, 5, 5, 5.
Yeah.
Even if it was 7, it'd be a bad day.
Yeah. But we're gonna let's circle back to this.
Imagine hitting 11.
Yeah. Let me set up the story of the 11 clankers.
You played in a round this weekend down in Gonzales, right? You almost played MA3. You were in such how'd that happen?
So I signed up MA2.
Okay.
And for a while, one of the guys, a friend of the show, Henry Hogginson, he was signed up in MA2. And it was just like, he's probably going to beat the crap out of us. He's really good. Like, so I was signed up in MA2, and our friend Lee Fleming signed up in MA3. And then I called him and was like, bro, you should move to MA2. Like, come on, you're the highest rated player at MA3 right now. And he's like, you should come down to MA3 with me. And then he kept like harassing me about, oh, you're scared. You don't want to play with old Lee. And then come to find out, he was planning, he had set a timer and everything to wait till I moved to MA3 and then move up at the last minute and leave me in MA3.
That's a pretty funny joke. So he signed up MA3, tried to get you to move to MA3, then last minute went to MA1?
Yeah, well, we, since there were only 3 people in MA1 or 4 people in MA1, or in MA2, Henry moved to MA1, then our boy Jason moved to MA1.
It's funny, we did that at Flat Creek. A bunch of us, we all moved up to MA1, which was fun until we realized that just 1 or 2 guys were in MA2, and they had a fucking trophy for first and second place. What the fuck were we thinking? We should have been battling out for that trophy if there's only 4 of us.
And hindsight,
trophies?
The trophy. Hindsight, that's probably what we should have done at Gonzo, but everybody ended up moving to MA1. But on the second round, I ended up being carded with our good friend Lee Fleming.
Lee Fleming, shout out Lee Fleming, friend of the show, and 11-time band clanker.
Headbands. At one point, he hit, because we started on hole 7, and he hit 18 through 5. He hit the headband. And some of them were like 10 feet, 8 feet. Like they were close headband clanker. And then we get to hole 6. And at the point, like it went from like, at first it was like, Lee hit a headband.
Should we get him a headband? Like, should we get him a white headband that just says clanker on it?
Getting him a Team Potato headband.
Ooh.
And being the only.
I think it has to say clanker.
You have to earn
it.
Yeah. Like 10 plus.
Like he takes his hat off and puts the headband on.
But he hit 6 in a row legitimately. And then we get to the last hole and he was driving great. So a lot of them were for birdies. But we get to the last hole and he clankers the basket and he's like, fuck, at least it wasn't the headband. And then on his comeback, he hit the headband.
And he said something about karma.
Like maybe you shouldn't play tricks on your friends, Lee.
That is brutal. Sorry, Lee, that sucks. That's really bad. But like all I can see now is like who was the quarterback for the Bears with a big headband in the 80s?
Oh yeah,
with the glasses.
What's his name? The Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah, Super Bowl Shuffle. That guy. Sports, Bears. You guys get it.
Get up. We'll put it in.
Yeah, we'll put it right here.
Yeah, right there.
Damn.
Thanks, Rigdon.
Cool glasses. Well, anyway, we've got some big news that we're going to share, spill the beans on here. But real quick, a word from our sponsor. Who are we going to go with this week? Trail Candy, Trevor, since you didn't show up.
Yeah, we miss you. Love you. Be right back.
See, have fun in KC. Bye, Trail Candy. Message now.
And welcome back, everybody. That was our favorite sponsor
in the whole world.
In the whole world.
We miss him. We wish he was here.
Yes. He'd bring our trail candy. It's very sweet.
So, you know what's hilarious is I was traveling recently. I was in Salt Lake City, brought all the homies a gift, and I was going to show everyone the gifts we got for everyone. But guess what? Trevor didn't get his gift because Trevor didn't.
Just sitting on the keyboard.
You know what's hilarious is he probably won't even watch. Actually, this is probably the part of the show he actually does watch to check out. So
yeah,
gotcha. Just kidding, buddy. But we do have a present for you when you come back. Trevor's on his way up to Kansas City for a big tournament this weekend.
Is he shooting it or is he going to be playing it?
I believe he's playing in this tournament.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Dude's starting to get shreddy. Trevor's always shredded, but like he's getting in that in the zone.
Found it.
Speaking of getting in the zone, AutoZone is not a sponsor of this podcast. But they will change your battery for free if you don't know how to undo a couple things. Shout out, no free shout out. AutoZone.
Getting in the zone. Tell me about your trip to Salt Lake City. What are you figuring out there?
Yeah, so I guess that's what I hate doing this type of thing. Yeah,
Toot your own neck. Toot it.
So we were long story. I mean, I guess we could tell a story how it kind of rolls back. I had to go to Charlotte for business for another disc golf thing that like I'm sure we'll talk about here in a little bit in a couple weeks, but like just a completely different bit of disc golf business where I had to fly into Charlotte and then drive down to Greenville, South Carolina. I'm in Greenville. I've just gotten to play an awesome round with my buddy Michael. We played, I'm not going to think of the course off the top of my head now, but it's his local course is a local loop, Tiger River, with a Y maybe, Tiger River.
You sent us a picture.
Yeah.
Hornet's Nest?
No, Hornet's Nest is we played that in Charlotte before we took off. He came up. I told him I was going to, as soon as I landed, I was like, the first thing I'm doing when I got off the plane is finding a disc golf course and playing there because we didn't have meetings till the next day. And he's like, oh, I'll drive up to Charlotte to go play disc golf with you. So
yeah.
Drives up to Charlotte. We played Hornet's Nest. We checked out another course, but like the weather was just a little like, I feel like it rains within 10 seconds in the Carolinas and then it just goes away. But like one of those come and get your storms cupped up. So we just drove back to Greenville, and then the next morning we played Tiger River, and we went into the local, another round shop there in Greenville, and was kind of blown away. I was talking to the owner, Corey. He's good friends with Michael, and even at like, I think this was at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, the vibes were just everything you hoped you could have. Like there's a little bar, there's some beer on tap, some kombucha on tap. People are hanging out. There's guys bringing in stacks of discs for trade-in. There was just a communal vibe of everyone kind of talking and celebrating disc golf. They had coverage up on the TVs, local, national. It was just like, it's like, wow, how does this not exist in Austin, Texas? So I got out and I realized they have a bunch of franchises open. There's even a franchise opening up in Dallas, just north of here, about 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find an email for Joseph. And I write him an impassioned email. I'm just like, brother, what you've done with Another Round and these franchises is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It's one of the best. I mean, they were already, I would say this before I even went into that store, top 10 most recognizable brands in disc golf, like his social media content and stuff. So it wasn't like it was off the radar completely. Like Another Round's always putting out good content, but got on, emailed him, bro, like what you're doing in the franchise world is incredible. Like I spent an hour talking to the owner here, like how can I help bring one of these to Austin? Like what needs to happen? Like let's do
Try it out.
Let's figure it out.
Okay.
And like always, you get just like an info, you get a email back from like whoever does their email. It's like, oh, we'll pass this email along, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to write one more. And I wrote one more, just like maybe 300 words of just like, here's why I believe in this.
Okay.
And basically just, I mean, I don't say lay my heart on the line, but just like kind of like how I feel like
a well-edited Nick Barr rant.
Yeah, if you will, yeah. And it was just about like what I thought it could be and like how Austin, I feel like, is just, it's already showing, indications that it would really welcome it. And I don't want to say it needs it. Like we have some great shops. We have, we have Mint up at Sprinkle Valley. We have great things happening. But there's nothing like Another Round in Austin at all. So I think we could do it here, basically. That led to a handful of phone calls, to a handful of group phone calls with Joseph and Kyle in Another Round. And then they're like, well, let's get you out to Salt Lake City. There's a guy, Ben, who just opened up the shop there who's killing it. And shout out to Ben for welcoming me in for the better part of the work week. Kind of let me see behind the register, if you will. Kind of talked me through his opening and like how he got the store built out and ordering from the different distributors and yada, 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 like what it takes to get a kegerator in to what it takes to, best ways if I scratch and dent refrigerators, every little bit of detail. And then watching, inventory come in and watching like the easy systems they have for that. It was just, I don't say it was a no-brainer, but like it was like we got to do this. So next thing you know, and I think this would have happened just a day or two ago from whenever this will have come out. Who knows how long it takes. When it takes a long time for this to come out, it's almost always my fault, so I apologize for that. Rick is shaking his head. He has maybe 10% of it, but it's almost always my fault. But anyway, next thing you know, we have, an application out on a location, and that thing, I mean, we kind of got a soft yes already from the landlord, just getting it like written up and stuff, owe them some money on a deposit, but we've signed a franchise agreement. Like Another Round is coming to Austin. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That seemed like such a long-winded thing. I felt like that time was going so fast. I was like, haven't we been talking for 9 hours? It feels like it. Have we packed a lunch?
Oh.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's
the big
really
news.
Cool. I can't wait to check it out. There was this other little detail that talk about maybe having room for us to start shooting the podcast.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely shoot the podcast on location at the shop. I'm hoping people can like come in and kind of see it happening as we're filming live. We'll talk a lot more gear and disc and, but really try to celebrate the local scene, Central Texas disc golf, hopefully highlight more tournaments and players and brands and other such things. But much of the same, a lot of, BS and shop talk, but just a little bit more disc golf conducive environment than the studio that we have now.
Yeah. Well, and then you can hang out pre and post round, have a couple of beers.
Absolutely.
And post podcast for us.
Yeah. For sure. And I have a feeling I'll be spending a lot of time there, so I'll probably need a little more conducive location. Anyway, but we got a bunch of cool stuff planned. Like we'll be doing a community team and a sponsor team. We'll sponsor about 10 players in the local scene. Everything from like getting monthly stipends at the store to sponsoring them as they enter tournaments. What else we got on the board I forgot to talk about? We're going to be working with local brands like Mint Discs and Loot Bags. Loot Bags are going to be doing like this community series where we'll have, we're going to take different courses. Like first one up is Zilker Park. We'll do a disc and shirts and towels and loot bags, all personalized for Zilker Park. And then, give all the proceeds to the course. We'll be doing, some work with Goose Productions. The Texas Am Series will be sponsoring a few of those events through the end of the year. Then
Nice.
hopefully helping keep that event and string of events going next year. And then hopefully working with NADGT as they come to town at the end of the year to do like a unofficial player party and definitely giving away some some stuff in the players pack if we can work everything out.
That's awesome. One of the things that you mentioned and that we talked about that I thought was super cool was you said when you went there, they had national coverage playing on one TV and local coverage playing on another.
Yeah, I think that's really the important thing, man.
That's
trail candy, man.
yeah. We can use Trevor. I'm sure will get a kick out of doing that. I would love helping maybe do the commentating on some of those.
Man, Freeberg will not let that go. He is now putting it out in public. Trevor, watch out. He's coming for you. Yeah, we definitely want to do a lot more coverage. I think a little bit of what we'll do in our sponsorship is, so in order for coverage to happen at an event, like you have to pay for that coverage, right? And I think that's a little bit of a way that we can support is we can help cover the financial cost of the coverage so that more rounds can have more coverage. Locally, whether that means just a single cam on a single hole on some smaller events, or following lead card for the upper levels at bigger events.
That's always to me one of the coolest things. I love to watch when the pros play local courses. I mean, there's one with Garrett Gerthy and I think James Conway where they play Met Center.
Yep,
and
super fun one. Yeah,
I had watched that one. It's been a while, but I watched it like 3 or 4 times. It's because it was really cool to see my course with these.
Absolutely.
I think it would be just as cool to see people I know maybe that aren't pros that are maybe like local pros, like our boy Nate Tucker.
Oh, absolutely. Like Nate Tucker would be, exactly the type of guy you want to follow, right? Like I think he does a great job doing recaps on his social, but like he's the guy that is just, he's playing 1,000 level disc golf all the time. Yeah.
We played at Gonzo this weekend and he had the hot round the first round, had 1,000 rated round. Part of the reason that in the MA1 we didn't get as great of ratings is because the pros went out there just fucking
shredded. Yeah. You live and die by those long tees. Yeah.
Yeah. But he was in the lead through 5 or 6 in the second round, and he had camped out there the night before, and it was 1,000 degrees. It was hot. He said both his calves cramped up, and he's like, it took him 3 to 5 holes to. He's like, man, I was going for. He's like, that was my win. It's like, and then my calves were just like, not today. Jeez. I told him, I'd like to tell you that it gets better, but as you get older, that only gets worse. Like,
eat a banana.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Don't camp.
That sucks, dude. That's a rough go. That's a rough go having the legs cramp up. The I guess the other big things with the shop, news-wise, just to kind of put them out there, our location. It's going to be right between Zilker Park and Circle C, about 5 minutes from each, right off the Mopac. So super easy to get to before or after rounds. And we should have controlled the space here in mid-July, and then we plan to open in early to mid-August. Oh, sorry, early to mid-September.
Okay.
June, July, August, September. Yeah, September.
So
I think I've written August on a few too many things. I need to go fix that. Definitely.
I got something in mind.
Mid-September. Definitely mid-September.
And he said that there might be some putting leagues out there. There's a little bit of space to throw.
Yeah, it's an awesome indoor-outdoor space. So, obviously you'll have a big shop indoor, but then I'm guessing we'll have room for at least 6 to 9 permanent putting holes outside. We'll have outdoor net area for throwing the tech disc and stuff. Hopefully we'll do some cool leaderboards with the tech disc and allow coaches to come in and do lessons there as well, so they can utilize some of that stuff. I know Trevor's really excited about doing some of his lessons out of the shop using the tech disc. He just got a putter. Tech disc. You know they will do it for your putting stroke too?
Yeah, he was talking about that last time.
I'm going to be way more obsessed with that than with throwing distance and hard. Yeah. Is how can I perfectly make this putter spin at the way?
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't an AVR because it's so deep, but whatever, we'll figure it out. I think that's super cool. If I could just send you one of my practice putters and you just put one in it, that would be the next level of awesome. I think they sell a different brand that you can just put on the disc. But it seems so impossible to maybe put it in the center. It feels one little bit off and it's...
It ruined everything, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, that's the big news. Another round's coming to Austin. I'm really awesome promoter. Love talking about myself. That whole thing.
we're excited to hang out there. I'm excited to see the new.
I'm excited you to be a part of it, man, for sure. And if you're, and again, not to do any shameful plugs or anything, but we'll put a link down below if you're interested in joining the community team or being one of our sponsored players. We'll have a link down below. There's a quick survey to fill out, and we'll be looking to fill those spots as soon as possible so that we can have the team together by the time we open.
Yeah, absolutely. And do we have anything else?
I don't know, Rigdon, what did you want to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted to say it seems like there's so much potential with what you're doing here. Like, we can only scratch the surface on what's to come. So I'm just really excited for everything that's going to be happening. And I'm also super proud of you, man. Like, this is just really exciting. I think it's just great for everybody. I selfishly am like really excited to hang out there too.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
At the end. Yeah.
I hope everyone in the whole community feels that way. I hope everyone from all ages, young and old, just feel like it's like a cool place and come hang out and talk disc golf. So I guess this is forgot one big thing. So our used bin, we've got to obviously build up our used bin. We're going to be giving we'll give the best deals on used discs. So you bring your discs in. I will guarantee no one in town, or except for another round franchise, no one will beat what we'll give you for your trade-in value and shop value. We'll be doing that before the store even is open. So you can bring in all your old discs before the store opens, get a huge gift card, and come in when it opens up and go on a shopping spree on us with your used disc bounty. There's that. And two, we'll even give you $1 for a lost disc. So if you bring a disc in that has someone's name amped on the bottom, we'll still give you $1 store credit. That's yours. But then what we'll do is we'll put that disc into our system, contact the person for you, and have them be able to come and pick it up there at the store.
We'll do the homework. I love it.
We'll do, and it's very easy to do. We're going to do it for everyone just as a courtesy, no charge at all. And then what was the other thing? So with the used discs as well, we'll also be doing a huge deal on selling used discs. So usually buy 4, get 1 free. And then all beginners, everyone who comes into the store who's coming in to kind of figure out disc golf is going to leave with at least 1 free used disc. I guarantee it. So if you come in, you're looking to get into disc golf, I don't even care if you're playing just stupid with me and you're maybe you've played a few times. Just come say, hey, you said something cool about getting into disc golf. What's a disc I should try? And we're going to go to the used bin and we're going to find a disc you absolutely should try. You're just going to walk out of the store for free.
That's awesome.
That was almost a sales pitch. I almost got into it. I almost did a thing.
That was good.
Okay.
Proud of you.
So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Anyway, check us out as we will be sponsoring the Texas AM Series Final here in Austin, as well as, I believe, Circle G with Loot Bags, who's the headlining sponsor for that event. We'll be partnering with them to bring some cool deals there. Everyone that participates in those 2 events will get another round gift cards in your player pack as well. So be on the lookout for that. And I don't know, until next time, while you're out on the course.
Yeah, that's our show. Watch out for those iron leaves and just be cool.
Did we Spider-Man it? Rigdon?
Neon lights and plastic dreams, discs that fly in laser beams. Another round, it's coming near. Austin's got a brand new cheer. Families call the lively crowd. They spin, the music's loud. Chains that clatter under skies. Sunset orange through your eyes. Throw it far, let it glide. Feel the rush, slip and slide. Another round calls your name. Austin's heartbeat in the game.
John Daly.
Oh my God, John Daly is like,
It's like John
they need
Daly
to
is
study him.
Bro, John Daly has figured life out. He is Jimmy Buffett of sports.
Dude,
He's the Jimmy Buffett of sports.
you can't not love that guy.
No.
I feel like you just have to.